These are the luckiest people right now. If I was ever asked how lucky I want to be, well, my answer would be as lucky as this girl here, who hits the bullseye. People go crazy when they get a strike when bowling. This lucky chap just needed half a bowling ball to do that. This ice skater was showing off to his friends and didn't see that someone had their feet raised above their head and were heading towards him. Skating shoes have sharp blades on their ends, so avoiding one was truly a lucky thing to have happened.
Wow.
This girl's birthday surprise was about to go south, since everyone lost the grip on the cake. Lucky for her, one friend of hers had great reflexes. He's a birthday saver. Initially, it would seem as if this lady made the most bizarre-looking shot. But, well, her luck saved her from looking like a fool. It's not just the people, but dogs are sometimes as lucky as the rest in this list. This guy climbs the roof to get this ball back. But, well, he never knew he was climbing onto something we call the ball treasure. Someone was showing off by doing some stunts on a pull-up bar. During one of those stunts, the bar actually broke, but luckily the person was in such a position that he landed on his feet. One woman unfortunately encountered a snake as soon as she went outside her door. Luckily for her, she had some quick reflexes and was able to escape in time. This professor thought it would be a good idea if he challenged a student to make an impossible shot. The student ended up making the onest. This driver was not just lucky enough to escape the incoming plane, but was also able to film everything.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
When you're on a motorway, make sure your high beams are turned on because you never know when a cow might show up.
Yeah, boy.
These newlyweds just escaped from what could have been a wedding disaster. This boy was standing under a small stream of falling water, and just as he moved away from it, the area was struck by lightning. Well, miraculously, he was able to escape unburned. A wheel came hurling towards a woman while it was on fire. She hadn't even seen it coming and just narrowly avoided it. Lucky.
Trotters. Hey, what do you say? There we go. Signing off.
Someone was casually riding their bike when from out of nowhere, another person flying with their bike crossed their path. Luckily, the individual stopped in time, as things could have ended up much worse if the timing hadn't been perfect.
We jumped into the net.
That was a different one.
Really?
I swear to Jesus, he took off that way. What was funny?
Someone jumped off a bridge into water, and if they had done so a second later, they wouldn't have made the desired landing. This is because as soon as he landed in the water, a boat passed over the exact location he jumped onto.
I mean, I love our chances. You know, it's been.
Stay still. You're looking at that.
This excavator's work caused a rock rolling down the hill and towards an idle car. The stubborn driver decided to honk at it instead of reversing. And well, it worked. Was it the horn or his luck? A man was trying to keep things together during a hurricane when a trampoline came out of nowhere and nearly smashed into him. Trampolines truly are unexplainable forces of nature, aren't they?
The two Russian Tupolev Tu-160 strategic nuclear capable bomb
people like flipping around too much. One person tried to flip from one surface to another, while a large body of water was between them. He ended up incorrectly landing on the next surface, but luckily, the distance was so small that he simply caught onto the first surface with his hands, instead of taking a dunk into the water.
That's quite big.
When a girl threw an axe like one would do with a dart, it actually came rebounding back to her. She quickly ducked and was able to keep her head. A group of people were enjoying their time on the water in a boat when a giant whale suddenly surfaced from the depth of the ocean. Luckily, it was just a few feet away from them, and they only got a bit splashed. This motorcyclist just avoided having a visit from the Grim Reaper. Lucky man. A skater was fully focused on doing his best at what he did, which is why they didn't see that just a few feet behind them, a giant camera drone had fallen from the sky. Luckily, he had skated away by the time it came crashing into the ground. This man was doing some DIY in his house and he used a broom to keep a panel upright. Suddenly, the broom started sliding away, but before the panel came crashing onto him, he caught it with his bare hands. This guy got some nerves of steel. He tightens his shoes and waits for the right moment. As soon as the train arrives, he runs towards the track and does a somersault. The baffled operator just looks at the stunt and honks, as if that would work. Yes, Mr. Driver, this guy is crazy, yet lucky. Due to the advent of climate change, huge chunks of glaciers have been known to fall off from time to time. One boat crew very narrowly avoided such an event. Just as the ice fell, the boat started speeding away. Someone was performing backflips in the middle of the street, and a random passerby didn't notice this. Luckily, the person landed the flip before his feet collided with the person walking by. Otherwise, they might have passed out.